The unthinkable happens at a Halloween house party in Victorville.
Welcome back to Broken Bobby's transformation page. In the late 80s, I became involved with drugs and would eventually become part of that lifestyle of trafficking, addiction, and violence. Over the next 20 years, I would be in and out of jail and prison. If you're thinking about trying something or you're dealing with addiction, your life don't need to go down the same path mine did. I hurt a lot of people, both physically and emotionally. These are my stories of how I transformed my life, and you can too. Let's get.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. This one is on parties and stuff. There was a tragic ending to a Halloween house party in Victorville recently. And, it was my granddaughter Claire Bella's birthday party yesterday. She's 7 now. Happy birthday, baby. And, we were at a smaller version of a house party. It was mostly family there yesterday. And, I was thinking, what am I going to do a video on? And I was thinking about gatherings and, like the way, things go sideways sometimes at these gatherings. Anytime there's a lot of people in one place, it tends, things can go awry basically. And so I thought about that, and here we are making this video now. But before we get completely into it, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, drop a comment, let me know what you think, share some of your experiences. I'd love to hear them. Also, share the video. It really helps to get the message out. Also, hit that notification bell so that anytime I go live or I drop a new video, you will be informed of it, and you can check it out when you are ready and become a member of the channel. That's the best way to help support the Broken Bobby movement. So this house party happened, right? I'm at my granddaughter's birthday party last night. It's mostly family and stuff. And I've been to a lot of these, like when I was younger and still active in my addiction, on the weekends, we would drink a lot and party, mostly family, few people on the outside. And, the thing is, anytime you have a bunch of alphas together, things, you know, have can go wrong where, you know, uh, end up out in the street or in the backyard throwing them hands, or even worse. And unfortunately, this is what happened in Victorville last night. Well, it'll be the night before last night by the time you guys see this, but there was a Halloween house party, probably a lot of kids around, and somebody got unalive basically. Somebody started shooting in the party, and unfortunately, a 23-year-old young man with his life in front of him didn't make it. And, the thing is, you never know what's gonna happen, But rest in peace to that young man. My condolences to his family. But when I was younger, this was like a common occurrence on the weekends. Either they come over to where I was staying or we'd go somewhere else. And, there's always a few people that, excuse me, that the group isn't familiar with. And this is when things tend to happen. With some people, they want to trip when they're drunk, whereas they won't maybe when they're sober. So it opens up these opportunities for problems to arise. Now, this one, first story, this was probably around 2000. We were living in San Bernardino on 9th Street near Bliss Liquor. If you know San Bernardino, you know what I'm talking about. Between G and F on 9th Street. It was a Mayweather fight, and the group that came over to watch the fight, the homies that came over, some of them were black, some of them were Chicano. And, it was always like, I don't want to say tense, but the black homies wanted Mayweather to win. The Chicanos wanted whoever Mayweather was fighting to win, basically. And on this particular night, it ended up being an issue with the neighbors of all things. And it was there was some jawing going back and forth, and I was still like, I believe my parole was done. I could be mistaken. It could have been earlier than early 2000s. No, no, I was on probation. I was on probation in San Bernardino, Riverside, in LA, and trying really hard not to go back to jail. And things ended up kicking off with the neighbors. A little melee occurred out there. One of the homies got poked in the chest, and next thing you know, the whole family and all the homies that were there were all seated and cops in the living room. And I don't think any charges were pressed with this particular event. Nobody was hospitalized or anything like that. They just assessed everything that happened. They considered it to be a mutual combat. Nobody wanted to press charges, so it was a dead issue, but it could have been a lot worse. And going back to the mid 90s, we were having a party. This one was on G Street. I want to say around G and 11th in San Bernardino. I'd spent a lot of time in that downtown area of San Bernardino growing up and early in my adulthood. And we were having a big party in the backyard, and somebody came with one of those things, and somebody figured that out real quick, and basically we had to shut the party down because we didn't know who that individual was. And like, it could have gotten ugly, because a lot of times when you have these little functions, there's more than one gang present at these functions. People representing different cliques of, whether it's of the bigger neighborhood, or some black gangs, some Chicano gangs. uh, like, there's a lot of different people there, and nobody wants to feel disrespected or anything. And when alcohol's involved, that tends to happen sometimes. So you have to be really careful with these types of events. And by no means am I saying that you shouldn't enjoy your life, even in sobriety. Like I said, I went to this event last night. It was pretty uneventful. There was a little argument that took place, and it was what it was, right? But nowadays, when we go to these types of events, and there's always alcohol and other things present. Like, we go and for a couple hours, and before it gets too late, we call it a night, say goodbye, and you know, come on back to the casa. And that wasn't the case when I was younger. When I was younger, like, we would party all night, like sometimes till the sun come up, just drinking, and just drinking a lot. And maybe some other substances may or may not have been involved, allegedly. But that was the way we used to do it. And now, it's better these days, in my opinion. Like, I just I I guess I'm older now, and a lot more careful in the things that I do. But unfortunately, in Victorville last on Saturday night, somebody didn't make it home. Or if that was their home, they're never going to leave home again, unfortunately. And like I said, this young man, he was only 23 years old. I don't know any of the circumstances. I don't know if it was gang related or what it was, if it was just an argument that went way too far. But you know somebody opened fire in that party, and now there's chances are there's a lot of traumatized children that were probably there as well, that seen what happened. And my prayers go out to everybody that was involved in that. Um, just a tragic situation all the way around. And I want to say, when I seen that pop up on my news feed, I when I was getting ready to make this video today, I googled, shooting in San Bernardino, and you'd be surprised how many of these stories there are. Like within the last couple of weeks, like it's a I don't want to say it's a common occurrence, but it's a far too common occurrence. And we just need to be safe out there, guys. You don't know, tomorrow is not promised, so we have to live the best life we can today, and to make sure that we're going to be there for our kids and our family, and uh, that we don't end up a victim of something as tragic as this was. So yeah, that's the story for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You remember, it's just about building a strong foundation, and living by a certain code of ethics that's going to deliver us to a better life, where we make better decisions and we don't end up in situations like this, to where we're either the victim or we're the witness to something that we don't want to see, because it was an ugly sight. I wasn't there. I'm not familiar with that, but it's all too familiar in the lifestyle that I used to live. You know, whether somebody taking shots at you or somebody near you, just that experience is so traumatic that some of these people might not ever be the same after this situation occurred. So once again, I want to say rest in peace to the victim. He was only 23 years old. My condolences to his friends and family. If you guys need help, I hope you reach out and get the help that you need to work through this situation. And just, we have to build a strong foundation in our sobriety, so that when the storms of life come our way, we're able to maneuver through them without losing everything. So family, fitness, and freedom are those things that assisted me in getting my life together, and living a good, productive life in this crazy world today. So everyone be safe out there, no matter what it is you're doing. You never know what could happen, so just be safe, and don't look at the mountain, just start climbing.